So we're going to look at how we can plot in Fusion using our Cartesian coordinates that we did with our little pumpkin exercise. So I'm going to show you how to set up Fusion so you can see a grid and get the same spacings. And then we're going to try and quickly draw the pumpkin in there, and then how we can export that out ready for the laser cutter. So I've opened up Fusion. You can see I've got a blank page there, nothing on the page. What we're going to do is we're going to jump in the create sketch, and we're going to select the XY plane, and it will come up with some grid lines that are on there. Now, if we go down the bottom of the screen, we've got some icons down the bottom here. And we're going to scroll across to where it says grids and snaps. And we're going to click on that, and we're going to turn on snap to grid if it's not already turned on. And then under grid settings, we're going to open that up. And you can see that we've got a major and a minor grid spacings. So our major grid spacings are every 100 millimeters. And so you can sort of see that we've got a number there, 100 on the X and Y axes. So they represent the major. And if we sort of zoom out, you can see that they sort of go a little bit darker than the other ones. So they're our majors. And then at every 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter, we have our minor markings. So that is essentially the grid that we've got. And we're going to go OK. And that's the grid that you're going to work from. So same process as what we have done with the MDF in terms of drawing that on there. Then we need to plot them on there. Now, we could do this a number of ways. You could go in there and you could put what's called points on there. So you could count these across. So our first one, for example, is 6 and 0. So you could go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0 would be there, and put a dot there. And that would be your starting point, with your next one being 8 and 0, which would be 6, 7, 8, which would be there. And you could just plot dots around where you want it to be, and then join up the dots later. The other way that we can do that, so I'm just going to undo those, is we can use the line tool, and the line tool will snap to those coordinates, but it will also stay joined together. So if we go back to 6 and 0 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you can see it stays joined to it. So the next one was 8 and 0, and the next one is 9 and 1. Then we've got 10 and 3, which is the one there. Then you've got 10 and 5, which should be that one. 9 and 7, which is over one more there. So I think that's 10, 9, 8, 7. I think that's right. 7 and 8. So that's 9, 8, 7 is 8, which is that one there. And then 5 and 8, which is that one there. And then when you need to stop, you can just click on put your mouse up to where that little tick is there and click on that, or you can right click your mouse button and go OK. Okay, so there's our sort of first part of our segment there. So we can draw our shape in there. We're going to do the other side then. So our next one was, so we go back to the line tool again. So we go to 6 and 0. We're going to 4 and 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 0. Then we've got 3 and 1. 2 and 3. Looks a bit wonky. 2 and 5. 3 and 7. And then 5 and 8, which should bring us back to that one there. You can see these little lines that are here. These represent constraints that have been put on. We could actually turn the visibility of those off, but they're going to be automatically applied on there. So we're just going to leave them there for the moment. Okay, so we've got that one there. We're going to do the next row down, which was, don't forget to get your line tool. So we've got 7 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down and 8 high. So it's going from that point there. And we're going from 7 and 8 to 6 and 10. Is that right? That's 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 10 is there. Then we're going to 4 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 is there. And then 5 and 8. So there's our top. Then we're going to the next line down. So we're going to start drawing the eyes. So we've got 4 and 7. And so you basically just keep repeating the process until you finish drawing that. So I'm going to sort of pause here and then we'll come back at the end part. So I finished my sketch now. We've got the eyes on and the nose and the mouth. What we've got to remember when we laser cut something is if we were to select this, the laser cutter may follow this path all the way around. And if it cuts through here, it'll actually cut the top off from the body. So we're going to, this line in here, we're going to use the scissors and we're going to trim that away. So under modify here, we've got these things that look like scissors. They're called the trim tool, or you can go to the drop down menu. There it is there. And we're going to select that line and we're just going to delete that off. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle in there so that we can put a key ring through it. So select the circle tool up the top, and up the top here, we're just going to click somewhere in the middle there and then draw a circle that is type in 6 and press enter. So 6 in diameter, or just press it, make the circle close to whatever you can, if you can remember how to do that. So put that in there. If I delete that dimension, just put a little circle in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go finish sketch. Oh, don't forget to save that. So I'm going to go file, save, and PUMPKIN. Save it as pumpkin into your folder. I'm not sure whether I've got a year 7 one. Yes, I have. Go save and pop that in there. The next step we're going to do is we're going to export this sketch as a DXF. So you're going to right click where it says sketch 1, go export DXF. Over here, we're going to make sure that the units are in millimeters. We want all of those ticked. I don't think we need the dots per se. And go OK. And then save this one to your computer. So mine's going to go into my downloads folder. So I'm going to call that pumpkin again. It's going to save as a DX file onto my downloads. So I'm going to hit save. And then we've exported that.